I want to talk to you about a product that started off great for us and wound up being a frustration. This is the Shark Stick cordless vacuum that we purchased from Sam's Club that's supposed to be a pet-friendly, brushless roller vacuum cleaner that right out of the gate was not brushless. Like literally the display at Sam's had no brushes in there. And as soon as we opened the box, it's like, there's brushes. So that was a bit deceitful right out of the gate. However, it still worked out as a great vacuum cleaner for quite some time. Now we've had this for, we'll say 13 months. That's about an accurate time frame. Bought it at a Sam's Club in Corpus Christi, Texas. Been using it ever since. Since that time, we've tried to do things like buy replacement parts, buy accessories. For instance, it would be nice to be able to hang this all up from the wall. And there is actually a little hook on the back right here that could work with it. But when you begin to start researching this, you find out that the UZ155, according to Shark, does not exist. That is where the frustration begins. So if you want to buy any of these accessories, life in an RV park, a lot of diesel trucks driving by. Last time I hit record, the garbage man just drove by. So this Shark vacuum cleaner that you get at Sam's Club, according to Shark, does not exist. By the way, when you start researching, did you know that Shark and Ninja are the same company? That's right. And they both make interesting products for Sam's Club that don't exist. For example, our Foodie oven air fryer that we love is an 8-function air fryer / oven. But when you go looking around, they only make a 10-function. For some odd reason, they lost 2 functions on the Sam's model. This reminds me of Black Friday. You got to watch out for Black Friday deals because a lot of the TVs and things that come out that are super cheap on Black Friday are literally lower level products made by big names on purpose to be sold at rock bottom prices on Black Friday. Not necessarily a quality product. You probably throwing your money away on something that'll be broke by next Black Friday. At any rate, back to this Shark vacuum cleaner. It has been a good vacuum cleaner for us. But I'm going to have to guess as to which parts I need to replace. Now, one of the first things that happened was while this floor model was hooked up, now this has lights, there's 3 lights on it. It also has some kind of an indicator right here, and you can send power to it by hitting the power on twice. When it goes down 2 notches, it will turn the roller on. So there's an electrical motor inside this part, and it sends connections through these contacts right here. Now, I do apologize. This is one of our dirtier videos as I'm just letting you see how things have come out. So we would hook this up and then the thing would just malfunction. It's like, I'm done. So I thought, well, we're gonna need a replacement for this. Can't get a replacement for this. It doesn't exist. So they actually make a lot of different models that all look the same. None of them with the serial model number. So I was just going to take a guess at it. The next day, it all started working again. I don't know what this thing did wrong. Since then, we've noticed that it's taken on a very high-pitched whine, and it no longer fills up the outside. You can see how there's 2 cylinders in there. Like I said, I apologize. This is filthy. I get that. I think that one of the mistakes that we've made is that we vacuumed up wet items. And that may have actually ruined this for us. A lot of people probably know that's why you have a wet dry vac, a shop vac, so that you can vacuum up wet stuff. So mistakes were made, we vacuumed up some wet stuff, and it's kind of caked itself in there. And so what has happened is now when it vacuums, it only fills the inner cylinder. Nothing passes out to the outside, but it used to. So what I'm doing right now is trying to investigate that. I was showing Kira my thoughts on things. I noticed these 2 holes right here on the bottom actually have light coming through on these 2 holes down here. And then I got to looking down here, and I've been cleaning already. Some of this area here is real dirty, and I've been just kind of taking a plastic knife and just scraping stuff clean, trying to bring this thing back to life. And what would be really nice is if this is a total loss, if I could just buy this part. Overall, I think this was $230 at Sam's. Similar models are like closer to $300 at like Best Buy, Walmart. It's a nice model because it's battery operated. The charge will hold a charge for about 20 to 30 minutes of vacuuming. This thing really gets put to a lot of use on travel days when we want to vacuum up, make sure the floors are all cleaned up before we bring the slides in. That's when it does its most work. But right now we just wanted to go vacuum, and I'm like, hold on. I really want to know why, because we vacuum up a lot of dog hair. Why is it only filling in there? So I'm just out here cleaning up this vacuum, trying to restore it to life. What would also be nice, I might be able to take this apart, but they use a very special kind of screw. I'm never a big fan of when they go off topic on the types of screws and screwdrivers they want to use. To me, that just says, we don't want you to work on this. In reality, what do they want me to do? Throw the whole thing away and buy a new one, because then they make a profit off of it, don't they? Don't sit here and tell me that they're pro-environment when they're that kind of a company. If you want me to throw this into a landfill and buy another vacuum so you can make more profit, you don't sound very environmentally conscious to me. So while I'm doing this, I'm also working on flushing the black tanks. Today is packing day for us. Tomorrow is a travel day. I thought this would be a great opportunity to share with you a product that works well, fits well into the RV, but may have some problems, and what those problems are. One of the most frustrating things about cleaning a vacuum cleaner is all the tight little spaces that need to be cleaned. So I thought I would share with this something I'm doing real quick. So I've been scraping a lot of this out with the plastic knife. Then I mean, that gets some of the bigger debris out, but I really want to try to clean it. And in between these cylinders, it's really tight. I can't get my fingers in there. So what I've been doing, Tanya bought this Mr. Clean little thing that sits in the countertop. You can take a paper towel and squish on it, and it squirts the liquid up there. She bought this a few years, okay, she didn't buy it yesterday, and she keeps refilling it with Mr. Clean. So I get some of that on there, and then I kind of shove the paper towel down in here, and then I take the plastic knife, and I've just been kind of moving it around. Is it going to be perfectly clean? No. But if you guys could tell by now, I mean, I don't wash my truck every week, so I'm not one to be like, I need it to be perfect. Not my bag of tea. What I'm basically trying to do here is try to see if by at least getting back a lot of smoother, cleaner edges in here, will I restore my vacuum cleaner to a proper functioning level. So it's kind of made a mess there, but you know, it's got some Mr. Clean on it and a paper towel, and now I'm just kind of, by going through all this effort to get it back out of there, it's producing a much cleaner appearance to it. So a little bit of a hack if you're wanting to go through this kind of thing. This is a little bit of effort. When you're somebody that your time is precious, this can get a little frustrating trying to deal with this. But at the same time, if you're also someone who's tired of buying a new vacuum cleaner every year, and you care about things like not filling up a landfill with appliances that keep breaking, this is the kind of stuff that you go through. I like to try to, I mean, at the very least, I don't want to spend more money. I don't want to spend another $300 on a vacuum cleaner. So here we are. Pretty much got this thing cleaned up. Sure, I could do better. I could try to figure out what these screw types are and take this apart, which I really would like to do, because back in here, it still seems pretty bad, and this has to come out in order to clean that. So that's a little bit frustrating. But I went ahead, I actually got this wet and was able, I started rubbing on it and then realized I was destroying it. So I'm like, I better stop that because I want to complete my test. This one I actually completely cleaned up the other day. Interesting how that one spot is so dark. It's coming out of those 4 holes that are in there. Guess I better figure out what order these go in. Oh, it's right there. Look at that, they gave you a picture diagram because they knew you were never gonna see the directions again. So I just want to put it all together, and then we'll do a test real quick to see. We'll get some daisy hair. Because it used to be that when you would vacuum, it would fill this entire area with daisy hair and or skittle hair. Because there's gaps in there where it can come out from the middle cylinder. So let's just see if I've made an improvement with my top secret vacuum cleaner. Still works. Guess that's a positive, right? Now we need some daisy hair. You have some hair to give, don't you? Yeah, you always do. Used to be when we lived in a house, it was like Daisy would perpetually shed. No, not perpetually. Twice a year. Felt like maybe about a February and August to September. Somewhere in that time frame, she would shed. Since we've been in the RV traveling around, it's kind of become more chaotic. She's just shedding all the time. These big clumps. A coworker of mine used to say, it's called blowing coat. And I think what it is when she gets cold, she starts to grow new undercoat or underfur or whatever a veterinarian has a technical term for that. And then it pushes out what she already has. Next question is, can I keep this without blowing away? Let's try to vacuum this up. Yeah, I've got some of it's leaving the center there. This will be a funny test. Take it out and do it again. I wonder how many people have done that before. I've never researched vacuum cleaner YouTube videos. Doing a little better, but not, definitely not going to call that 100%. All right. This video is what it is. We're probably going to have to get another vacuum cleaner. Am I going to buy another shark like this? I don't know. Should I? Well, I mean, I probably should just go ahead and try to figure out what that screw is and see if I can clean it apart more. It feels like the motor doesn't sound the same as it used to. I feel like maybe it's taken some damage. It's very possible. Which then would cause me to think that I probably do need to buy another vacuum cleaner if the motor is damaged. You remember vacuum cleaner repair guys? Those used to be a thing. These poor guys are kind of going out of business because of the whole, we'll just make vacuums that you can throw away every year and buy a new one for $230. Yeah, now I'm just trying to look to see if I could even take this apart. Oh yeah, there's screw holes back there. Oh, and they use Phillips screw heads. Well, how interesting. All right, we're gonna call that enough for today. I just want you guys to know that Sam's Club, while they have good deals, they appear to be possibly selling you something that's not exactly up to snuff with the rest of the market. And even if the rest of the market is out there and they have products, I just love the go-kart effect of the workers going around in their go-karts. It's delightful. And I don't even get to have any fun with the go-karts. So it's not that this is necessarily subpar, it's just a little bit confusing, I guess, is where I'm going with this. Why can't I go onto Shark's website, look up this model number, UZ155, and find replacement parts for this? Why can't I order a new one of these for, I would probably even pay $50 as opposed to paying $230? Or, you know, if that's the heart and core of it, what if I paid $100 and then I didn't have to repurchase all of this stuff? Those are the kind of things that I would appreciate, not having to repurchase the whole thing. But then, how did Sam's Club wind up with something that doesn't exist? I don't know. All right, I want to remind you that life happens, even products that need a little bit of love and tender care to keep them operating properly. Don't let that stop you. Stay fresh, cheese bags.